The future of blood. When I started on this, I was inspired by what I thought was an article about someone who had invented a synthetic blood. But it turned out that the article was it
Overhyped.
was over overhyped doesn't begin to explain it. It was the hype of a dream is what it was. But it had cute graphics and I thought, well, no. So since I've been donating blood for decades, and because I understand how important and useful it is to the rest of the world, I thought, well, what are we doing here? This it has changed. The blood donation process has changed over the last 40 years, but not very much. It's still pretty much the same thing. Stick a needle in your arm, let a pint of blood drip out, put it in a bag, and take it away and do things with it. But and it takes I think it takes more time waiting to do it than it does to do it. And then you're supposed to sit and wait for 15 minutes or half an hour to let your system recover, drink some liquids, which I sometimes do and sometimes don't. And sometimes I fall asleep and sometimes I get enthralled in a book and sit there for an hour. Um, but it's essentially painless. The and you can do wonderful things with that pint of blood and the 7 little samples they take along the way. But we don't have enough of it. Not nearly enough people are donating blood. Um, and people have tried different things to get people to encourage to donate, and some of them seem to work a little bit, and some of them don't. And so, since we don't have synthetic blood yet, we still need it. So, blood, that red stuff that leaks out, makes little dents in your arms. Um, if you lose too much of it, you die. If it gets polluted, you can die. And there's lots of things to know about blood. And as I talked to various people, I discovered that, well, I don't know very much about it. I seem to know a lot more about it than other people, probably because of going to the donation things and reading the posters and all the handouts they give you. So this is my class on why you should go and donate blood and what's done with it. And we'll talk a little bit about the future, but really the future is 100 different companies trying to do something, putting out videos saying it's just around the corner, and that's all there is. There's nothing there except hope. And I don't want to badmouth their hope, and I'm sure eventually we'll figure it out, but we haven't. So, what is blood? The Red Goo Explained is a 15-minute thing by a nurse talking about blood and its different types and the different kinds and what they do for you. The first video. This is where you're going to learn about A, B, O, and plus and minus and all of that, those things. Along the way, I will note that RH positive and negative is a shorthand way of saying RH D1 positive and negative. Over the decades, this has been known. They have discovered a lot of other rhesus things that can be strung out there, but they are so, most of them are so obscure and rare that they're not considered for this. They can be, if it's significant when you do the cross match, that will show up. But trying to categorize them is not a useful thing to do. There's something like, and there are other ways to type blood out of the ABO thing. This time I was told somewhere that there were 39 different ways of typing blood other than the ABO.
Okay.
It's
A question:
sure.
what would be the evolutionary pressure for having so many different blood types? Is there anything adaptive about this?
This is something the anthropologists talk about. They have drawn maps showing how tribes conserve their blood types. The famous instance being the Basques from the mountains in Spain and Portugal are almost predominantly
France.
O negative, if I remember correct. Why this is a matter of discussion. There are other groups that are almost always A, or there's a huge rabbit hole you can dive down there, and it's interesting. It really is, but just because it's interesting, maybe somebody else can do a presentation on that. But no, that's a good question. When you mix blood types, he and she, this can cause problems. Not usually for the first child, but for subsequent children, the placenta leaks blood from the infant into the mother. And the second pregnancy, the mother's system reacts to this immediately and with very bad consequences to the fetus. So now that we understand that this happens, we can deal with it. But it was a problem. There are lots of myths about why blood is the way it is and preserving your family's bloodline and the special characteristics of the royal bloodlines. And Yeah. The people believe things, and because of their belief, they're held to be true, and not always so much. Yes, Carol.
I believe it was in 1966 that they came up with something called ROGAM.
Yep.
The medical profession
Yep.
did.
Yep.
And if you administer ROGAM very shortly after the birth of the first baby, where,
First baby.
yes,
You don't
the mother's
the
body does not react. You
yeah,
don't get what they call a blue baby with
yeah,
the second pregnancy.
yeah.
And,
But you have to do it each time.
oh, yes. But
That
yeah,
confused people for a while. I already had that. That was for that pregnancy. This is for this one.
yes. And I remember when I had my abortion in New York the year before Roe versus Wade, Minnesota Planned Parenthood, wonderful people, investigated the um, the clinics that were setting up to do abortions for out of state people, and they picked two or three of the very best, the ones with good survival records, and the ones who were using ROGAM to prevent things in the future. And I think that your abortion costs like $60 more if you needed ROGAM.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that kind of sticks in my head. And that would have been in 72.
Yeah. Yeah. It's we
And
go on and we learn things.
if you didn't have any money, Planned Parenthood would buy you an airplane ticket and pay the clinic for your abortion and say, pay it back in installments, $10 a month. And they are really a fantastic organization.
Tom, did you do a presentation about blood a couple of weeks ago? I could have swore that there was a discussion about some kind of a gold blood type.
Oh yeah, we're coming up to that.
Okay.
That's
This is the second half of that presentation.
no, this is the rare dangerous blood type
Oh,
called golden blood or null blood, or it's
O negative?
no, it's
Oh,
beyond O negative. There are, depending on who's counting, between 35 and 50 people in the world with this type. We have gone on, just last week, someone was discovered with an apparently unique blood type. She's the only person She's incompatible with everyone else's blood. And they are apparently how she was discovered, her identity is being concealed. How it was discovered is being concealed. What it means is being concealed, and they are, of course, extracting all of the blood out of her to try and study it.
Well, since
She is unfortunately a very small woman, apparently, and so they can only get like a pint every 4 months. Researchers are going crazy. Yes, Eric.
yeah, in answer to Chris's question, Super Grok gives several pages of answer, but in a nutshell, it's to help maintain genetic diversity among populations. That's the purpose of having diverse blood types.
Well,
You can figure that how that works, because if you get, like you say, if you, yeah,
it's we notice that this has happened, and then we try and back invent why or how. It's not something that's under anybody's conscious control.
yeah.
So anyway,
No, like what do you call it? I can't blame their names, but nothing in biology makes sense except in light of in terms of evolution. And so it would tend
yeah,
just into it gives a couple of pages of why, but it does tend to maintain genetic diversity.
yeah. The answer is because that's how the body does it.
No, it's to maintain the genetic diversity, which enables the population then to at least some of them to survive various changes in their environment.
This implies that there is some conscious choice going on here, and there isn't.
Well, it just is. It just happens. It's whatever you call
Yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
just a law
Anyway,
of the nature of.
but the law of nature doesn't produce our next candidate. The new dangerous blood type violates your supposition.
Hmm?
Carol?
Yeah, presumably it's a spontaneous mutation. Your
Some
woman
sort.
with a unique blood type,
Mm-hmm.
could she take transfusions of O negative?
We don't know. My guess is the answer is no. But this is when I said
Even though it is supposedly the
there's
universal donor.
yeah. O negative is universal donor. But remember I said that this is one way of classifying blood. And even though someone is O negative, and in some circumstances you just take and jab O negative into them, you shouldn't do that. Because you should really do a matching test where you take a couple drops of the donor's blood and a couple drops of it, and you mix them to be sure that there isn't some kind of a reaction from, I said there were 38 different kinds of Rh factors. Some of them are not compatible. And doing a cross-match test is faster and more accurate than trying to actually discover the 38 characters in the complete typing. The question is, are they compatible or not? Do a test, matches, doesn't match, and go on. Exactly why they don't match, that's for the people in the back lab. I got to get a vial here I can put in my patient.
Yeah. Well, it does not, what I said does not violate, my supposition is not violated. It's still read it in detail, and I don't have
Yeah,
time now to get into the technicalities, but it is not violated. It is the reason. Just go
that
look it up
implies
in detail.
so when you That
AI.
is an observation of how blood types wander around the planet. But there's not a cause and effect thing. People don't move
Statistically,
somewhere
there
because
is. No, statistically, in the long term,
people
it
don't
does.
move because of their blood types. They don't choose their mating partner because of their blood type.
You don't understand.
Most people don't
evolution.
even know what their blood type is. So they can't be making that kind of a choice.
Nature decides that what the distribution for them statistically. That's how evolution.
So
I don't
why
think
does
you understand
nature
how
so
evolution
why does
works.
nature so why does nature attract people who are going to have blue babies?
It will sacrifice the few to benefit the many. Why are weaklings eliminated? Why are so many weaklings eliminated by nature to benefit the
Okay.
overall
Okay.
path of
Carol?
evolution? Why?
Oh,
Carol?
I think I forgot to take my hand down after the
Oh,
last question. Apology.
okay. That's okay. The
Okay.
rare dangerous blood type, if you
Yeah.
would, Stan.
Uh,
This is about the golden blood. So called. It's not gold. It's red, just like everybody else's. But it is exceedingly dangerous to
And
them.
this is going to tell us how it's dangerous.
Yep.
Okay.
So it is a blessing and a curse.
All right, so what?
And the laws regarding blood donation and transfusion are a patchwork of insanity.
Poorly designed.
And the states, and it's not just countries, some states within countries have their own particular laws about what you can and cannot do. It is just, there are days when I wish for world government.
That was my point. It sounds like
Not often,
government
but
blood.
Please, no. The ultimate.
There's a case for it. Yep. I obviously slipped in. So RH null, I think I have heard of it. It's weird because Stan and I were talking about blood types yesterday on chat.
Yeah.
How rare is it? 12 people on the planet, or
it depends on who's counting. Somewhere between 30 and 50, of which
well,
maybe 20 are capable
of
of
donating.
donating blood. Some of them are too old, some of them are too
Yeah.
young.
Well, I hate to say it, but it sounds like a Darwinian moment, you know.
Yeah,
Is it inheritable like Neg and
we don't know.
we don't know. Very interesting.
From their parents appear to have somewhat normal blood types from all I've read.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of information released, of course.
Because my parents were Neg-Pos mixed O types, and there was concern just with that. Wow. But you know, when I was a kid, I remember people blood banks where it's not where you got someone else's blood, it's where you and your family stored your blood before you had a surgery or something. That was quite
you can still do that.
Mhm.
The
They don't pay you interest.
the problem with it is that the system is not really set up anymore to track that, and mistakes happen.
Yep.
and
No barcode?
sudden needs happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have donated over the last 6 months, you have donated 3 pints for your coming surgery, and Joe comes in and Joe needs one of those. Do you save it or do you give it to Joe?
Yeah, and real quick, and then I'll
Do
shut
you-
the heck up. But yeah, I can remember when I was a kid, someone in our family was called into the hospital to lay on a gurney next to a family or a friend and
Mhm.
donate blood, boom to boom, live, no storage required.
Yep.
Yep, I'll shut up.
You can do that if you know they're compatible. You can do that. Eric,
Oh, no, my hand's down.
Carol,
Okay. My father was a doctor, and he was born back in the 1920s. And he told me that there was a time when the only way to donate blood to somebody was to have the pair of you lying side by side on
mm-hmm.
gurneys or hospital beds or whatever they could come up with.
No blood bank.
They stuck
Yeah.
a needle in
Yep.
each of you,
Mm-hmm.
and it went through a little mechanism with a crank. And a doctor or a nurse was revolving this around to
Mm-hmm.
pull blood out of one person and put it into the other.
Yep.
And for quite a while, when he was a young man, that was the only way to donate blood.
Yeah.
The two of you side by side.
Yeah.
And the other thing, the obligatory science fiction reference. Robert Heinlein had a very rare blood type. I think it was AB negative, but I wouldn't swear to
That's
it.
rare.
And the man had a number of surgeries in his life. And basically, his life was saved by blood donors several times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he took an extreme interest in the whole system of blood donation and transfusions and everything like that. He really researched it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, the American blood donation system was a disaster. I mean, it was just terrible. People were dying because they couldn't recruit donors because, all sorts of
Mm-hmm.
bad things. And of course, this hit the people with rare blood types sooner than just the general population.
Mm-hmm.
So Heinlein just totally went into research mode. This was after his life was saved. And he eventually ended up writing an article on blood typing and blood donations for Encyclopedia Britannica. And, in which he simplified everything for lay people's understanding. And this led him to a lot of volunteer work, recruiting blood donors, trying,
Mhm.
I mean, first of all, start with all your family and all your friends and recruit them as blood donors. And he was largely responsible for the fact that even today, any big science fiction convention will have a room set up for blood donors.
Mhm.
The Red Cross will be there, and you can donate blood at your local sci-fi convention.
Yep.
And this is not something that is generally known about him. I had to dig it out of his biography. But he kind of lent his name and his fame to recruitment drives.
Mhm.
So Eric, is your hand up, or
Huh.
I had a quick comment. Your
Oh,
hand
no.
is up.
Why not? What?
Eric, your hand is up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
David?
Can you take
All
it
right.
down?
Yeah, Carol, if you're done tripping down sci-fi
You are
memory
right.
lane,
You are right. I keep forgetting
I,
it.
I just Duck AI'd, and by the way, I signed up for DuckDuck is my major search engine, and it offered me the chance to use all of the major Chat GPT and what's the other one that the Pentagon is having a fight with. Anyway, do you give us permission to use Chat GPT, et cetera, in your searches? So in 8 seconds, an AB negative can take an O negative. O is the universal donor. They can accept an O negative transfusion. So it's not like they're the only ones that, but there are cases where, and I don't know the medical details, where you kind of have to get blood from your type. And so I know that AB negatives should be about $100,000 a pint at least, but yeah.
Oh, my hand's up now. I get, because something struck me in a presentation. You said that UAE banned use of blood donations from outside the area there, and I wondered why. Because they're generally the most liberal of any of the nominally Muslim countries, and the reason apparently is to minimize risk of other so many outside. UAE, and so there's a lot of risk of other blood transmissible pathogens, and that minimizes that risk overall. And I wonder how much of that testing of other in blood transfusions, how much testing is done for in blood donation in general, how much testing is done for other infectious pathogens besides blood type.
Well, they weren't testing for AIDS back in the old days because they didn't have a test,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but that's in the past, way past. But
Yep.
yeah, there's a great movie made by our house, actually about called The Cure. Didn't stay in the theaters long, but you can still find it because it didn't have a lot of sex or violence. But it was a really nice movie. And made one scene right by our house on the creek there about a kid that got that from got AIDS from a blood transfusion, and he was dying.
Yeah, David?
Yeah, I wanted to mention for people that if you list the participants on your screen, you can actually see the order that the hands were raised with a few exceptions.
It does that automatically on my Mac. I always know who is first up.
Well,
How
the
do you see
exception
that?
is on, if it's not a Mac, I don't know about Macs. I know on mine, my name is at the top of the list, but except for that, I can tell because it reorders the hands in the participants list. So people who leave their hand up mess up that system. It's hard to tell.
Where's this
Which-
list? How do you get this
It-
list?
If
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to tell, and maybe that's the setting, David. I don't know, but on
if
mine,
you click on the bottom bar, audio, video, chat, if you click on participants, you'll get a little pop-up that shows a list of the current participants, and they are in order of raising their hands unless they are yourself or the host,
Right.
and below that.
On Mac? Because
well, on Mac, I have Stan before David, and David
Yep.
had his hand up before Stan, so it's not 100%. It's software.
Well,
Uh,
the exceptions
Stan,
are the
yeah.
person
Stan is
who's
the host.
and Stan is a host,
There you go.
but just for people who are trying to help who had their hand up first, that is one way to do it.
Yep. And real quick, we play Zoom trivia on Sunday nights, and we put everybody in the order that we're going to ask them questions, left to right, top to bottom. And I started raising my hand. Well, that rearranges the darn order, and it moves me to I'm up next. Yeah, so it's a technology. It's a,
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, at the moment, Stan has his hand up.
Just when I was teaching at ITT Tech, there was a blood drive truck quite often. I went out to participate. I think I've told this story before, so pardon if I'm boring you with this. But they do a screening, or at least I mean, maybe if you're a first-time donor, they do a screening. And they were asking me questions about my military service and that kind of thing. And I said, well, I was in Germany from 77 through 80. And they said, you can pack it up and you don't need to consider donating blood ever again.
but that's not a screening. That is self-reporting. And I have said no when I've been in the Caribbean diving and I wanted to give blood or platelets. And I said, nope. And they didn't go check with ICE and everybody else to know that.
Well, there was a mad cow.
This is CRJ contamination in the blood supplies. Yeah.
It's mad cow disease possibility of it. I don't know if they have it or not. I'm not sure if they can tell, but they said that's a sufficient reason for them never to want me my blood ever again.
Yeah.
No, there are some countries that you can't give blood for like 3 years or something, 7 years, something ridiculous. Yeah.
No, there are some potential exposures that are essentially lifetime bans.
Yep.
The last time I gave, I didn't keep track, but I remember that it was over 50 questions on the check-in. Have you done this in the last 6 months? Have you done this? Has this blah blah blah?
Have you ever had
And
sex with a bisexual koala bear? Yeah. And I know, just bizarre stuff. Yeah.
Well, some of them are, but some of them are. Have you ever had an accidental needle stick? And they've changed that question now because I used to say yes, and then we have a long discussion about needle sticks,
And you're
and
right all the
it turned out that the needles I was stuck with were sewing needles, and so well, we don't care about that. But it's it's a problem, and you can't. You can be exposed to things and be unaware of it. So you can't self-report. And so you make the best bet you can, and you go on. You test for what you have tests for. You exclude what you might have, and you go on. And that's what you can do about it. It's sad in a way, but That's what it is.
It
Eric?
ain't, it ain't a
Yeah.
perfect science.
I'm wondering what the increased risk here is in Minnesota, where they imported hordes of people from different high risk areas especially high risk areas of the world for various blood transmissible pathologies. What all could they test for?
What is the likelihood that these people are going to be donating blood?
Well, then they used to sell
No,
parades on Franklin Avenue. They used to have
I
blood selling sites down on Franklin Avenue when a lot of poor people did sell their blood down. Actually, my daughter was selling plasma recently. I don't know why, but
well, Dean,
Yeah, I mean, there is all of that. But, medicine, when's the last time you went in for a procedure and they said, your odds are 100% of this being 100% effective? Never. Right. And blood. I hope. Oh, by the way, real quickly before Stan bails, are the videos from this saved somewhere?
Yes,
Where?
on the meetup site. That's where I got.
Yeah, and they will stay there, because my
Yeah.
experience is they disappear.
I can give
okay.
you.
Dean,
I have them collected as
Dean,
Word file. I'll put it in the chat.
Well, then I got to save my chat. Another button to push.
send me your email address and I'll send you the list.
Well, I have to have your email address for me to send you my email address, unless I can really good. I may have it. Eric. I'll check. I mean, Tom. I'll check real quick. I know I have Stan, so I out Stan is, and I'm assume Stan has yours. So.
Well, I'm going to put it on the chat.
Go.
But if I put, but you just know
There
that
it's in the chat.
when you put did you put it in there, Tom?
I put my address in the chat.
Well, I'm going to put the Word file with all of the links that you're looking for into the chat. But just know that when you do this, you can't just save the chat.
Well, and the links in chat are not links. I can't click on that email address and do anything with it except stare at it.
Okay. Okay. Stan, could we go on to the non-red part of, what we have next on the list is the non-red part of blood, which is, if you take the red blood cells out, what's left. This is the part that can kill you when you have a transfusion reaction, but we'll skip that. And people are talking about making lab-grown blood, and they're running into problems, but it is something that's potentially it's coming. In 50 years, there probably won't be blood donating. We'll be able to make compatible blood in factories. How expensive it will be, what the government will do about it. Will people be afraid of it having tracers put in it so they can be identified? All sorts of things. But it is definitely a good part of the future, the lab-grown blood. And after that, we'll skip down to the health benefits of donating.
Okay, I've got this ready to go, but I wanted to just comment that I put the blood type doc file, all these videos into the chat, but you have to download that file while the chat is available. Saving the chat does not save you that file. Okay.
That's the non-red part of blood.
Oh, did I show the wrong video?
Yes, you did. That's okay. It was a good one. Dean, you're muted.
You're still muted. Still,
My double click is not working. All right, so you have the videos, so you can email them to me, correct? The
I
ones
already sent you, I said they're in the chat.
forget chat. Forget it.
If
I
you
know
look in
email is.
chat,
I know none of you futurists use email, but yeah. I mean,
if you look, Dean, if you look in the chat, you will find my email address. Send me a note and I will send you the list of videos in an email.
I'll
And you
work
will
on
be able to click on it.
yeah. htom4722@gmail.com. But you know
That's
what?
me.
Why that's a blue link. Why can't I right click that and save it to Ask Zoom? Very irritating. It looks like a link, but it's not. I have to write it down.
If you click on the three dots to the right of that,
Oh,
you will get
below or to the right? I have two
to the
sets.
right.
All
To
right.
the right.
Copy. Thank you. I need education on Zoom. Done. Thank you, Tom.
That's okay.
Yep.
Took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah.
Carol.
Yes, I'm thinking of one other bag they hang up sometimes and dump into your veins.
Yep.
What is Ringer's solution?
Oh
It's
God.
not plasma, it's not whole blood, it's
No, you can you can actually get water. I should know what Ringer's solution is, but I don't know. I would rather I'll say I don't know rather than be wrong.
I
Google
appreciate that.
Google will tell you, I'm sure.
My father was not a doctor, so Carol knows about things we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
should
that's
know, but
just
I
from a number
just
of trips to the hospital.
But real quick comment on plasma. I mean, plasma is where homeless drug addicts go to get their next fix, right? That's what it is in Southern California, or used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or down and out students or whatever. I don't think I ever resorted to donating plasma, but yeah, and because plasma has a great shelf life compared with whole blood.
Dean, I just sent you the links via email.
Oh, can
All
you
right.
hear me? Hello?
answer to Ringer's solution in the chat.
Yeah,
Ah,
I got it. I got the answer here if anybody's it's a balanced isotonic mixture of salts dissolved in water designed to closely mimic the electrolytic composition of extracellular body fluids such as plasma, blood plasma, and interstitial fluid. It prevents cells and tissues from swelling and shrinking due to the osmotic pressure, making it valuable in both laboratory research and clinical medicine.
Fake plasma, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom, do you want me
Well,
to show the lab grown video now?
uh,
That's what you wanted last
we
time.
that's the one I was the okay. We'll talk about this briefly. We can watch an 11-minute video about the future of lab grown blood,
ooh, I
or
would like to see
Oh,
that.
okay.
or we can watch a 25-minute video on the health benefits to the donor
Yes.
of donating.
Yeah, if you could fast forward, they're both interesting. I would love to see the first one, but that's my
Let's do the lab grown video, Stan, and then the health benefits if you could play it at like 1.25 speed.
Oh God,
We'll
please don't.
probably take the rest of the day. Is it possible that we could
My name is Cedric Guevara. I'm a consultant in ecology.
encourage you to just summarize it for us each time?
We will watch the lab grown video, which is interesting. The health benefits of donating, there are a bunch of them. Basically, if you donate blood, your body notices. I'm missing blood. Help, help, help.
Yeah, I think
so
we
it
could
makes
watch
more.
it. It would be quicker just to watch it.
And so it makes more blood.
It's the reason I used to
new,
give.
This gives you new custom-made blood cells that perfectly match your body.
And makes you feel good.
And it helps make you feel good.
Yep.
But it takes a while.
The closest it is, blood donation is the closest we have now to a life extension drug.
Fountain of youth. You want to go right into the next video?
Real quick, I thought that was the one on the benefits of. That was the one on artificial.
Yeah. We can skip. The RH minus thing is interesting, but really, I think for our purposes, the health benefits of donating is more important.
Yeah.
In today's session, let's take a deeper dive into iron metabolism, iron overload, and therapeutic phlebotomy for individuals who have high ferritin and also hemoglobin. This is
Did I grab the wrong link?
That's why when I'm doing it, sometimes if I have time, I will rename the presentation or put
the health benefits of donating, or which one? Which one do you want me to show?
The health benefits of donating.
Okay, that's the one I clicked on. I think maybe what you were hearing isn't actually the video.
In today's session, let's take a deeper dive into iron metabolism, iron overload, and
Yeah, that's okay. This is the iron overload is part of why donating is good for you. Because of our diet, primarily, we acquire too much iron in our blood. And donating
Today's session, let's take a deep
gets rid of it. Okay, can we pause, Stan? I made a mistake and goofed up the videos. This is the technical video about why this works. I've posted a different one in the chat that's more of a the 7 things you can do to extend your life, including donating blood and why it's good for you, but you'll have to go into the chat, grab it, and watch it yourself. I don't know how I did that, but I did. Carol?
Yes, I was going to suggest that type 2 diabetes is closely related in many people to being overweight. Yep. And donating blood is an excellent way to lose weight. I mean,
What?
you donate a pint of blood. Now, pints a pound the world around, but of course that's going to be replaced on a mechanical level when you drink the juice, eat the cookies, etc., etc. But your body goes into the mode where it has to metabolize things that will create a pint of red blood cells, a pint of plasma. And, I very often noticed that the month I went in and donated blood, if I was on a diet and losing like a pound a week, that particular week I'd end up losing 2 or 3 pounds just because of all the metabolic work your body has to do to replace that pint of blood.
Yeah. How frequently you can donate is a ongoing question and debate. To a certain extent, age comes into it, body size comes into it. American Red Cross tries to schedule me every 8 weeks, which would be 6 times a year. That's what I try and do. I usually get 5. You get scheduled and then something comes along and I end up doing something else instead. Do I know that it's increased my lifespan? I don't know. I don't think I can know. I thought about that for a while, and I'm doing the best I can. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
And if it certainly doesn't damage me.
Yeah.
The closest I've gotten to being damaged is when I brought home the free sweatshirt, my wife yelled at me because it was the wrong size. They it's it cost me, counting transportation time, it cost me about an hour on an odd Sunday morning. And I've done enough time in hospitals as a patient and as an orderly to know how important that is in saving somebody else's life. It's cheap. If I get a benefit, if that's gonna give me an extra month of life, that'll be great. I suspect it'll be more than that. Dean?
Yeah, real quick. So my thing about doctors, this guy, by the way, is a master of science. He knows his stuff, right? And to me, I'm going back to the old barbers' polls. Barbers knew more about medicine than, I'm going to say, 90% of doctors today. I would mention to doctors that I donate blood frequently. They go, "Oh, that's nice of you." No, I don't do it. I do it because it's a nice thing to do. I do it because I always feel good. And I have
That's
cheated.
good. Yeah.
We don't have American Red Cross here. We have San Diego Blood Bank, the entire
That's
county. And
yeah.
I could cheat. And when I was on the road or whatever, I could give at at the Red Cross Bloodmobile or whatever. and they wouldn't know. So maybe it was only 6 weeks. It didn't kill me.
No.
8 weeks is just an arbitrary number. And yeah, plus I could get more T-shirts. I used to go to San Diego Blood Bank because they would always give you a cholesterol test free. So they're, by the way, your cholesterol is this. I go, okay, that's good. That's what I like. And then maybe you'd get a T-shirt or whatever. But all I know is I felt good. I was feeling good. Now, when I gave my 10 gallons of platelets, I didn't feel good at all. That is a grind, and it takes but you get a 5-to-1. That's how I got my name on the wall at the San Diego Blood Bank, because you get a 5-to-1 every hour and a half, 2 hours you spend in the chair watching movies. You get 5 15-minute donations for. So, but platelets are very, very, very important for people, and I got talked into that. But yeah, when you mention this stuff to MDs, I call them PPs. Any guess? Pill pushers. That's what an MD is. They went through 8 years of medical school to become pill pushers. Some of them are very good. When I mentioned to an OD or someone without an MD, a more holistic doctor, he goes, yeah, duh, yeah, of course.
Yep. David?
If we're done with the questions, I have a few questions for next week and the week after. Carol, is next week workable for you, or Eric has volunteered to moderate a discussion on AI?
Whoa, wait a minute. What I am doing next week is a presentation on the future of human reproduction. What we had talked about.
Right. Would you like another week, or do you want to do it next week? I don't know what your schedule is for the week after.
I can do either week, but giving me a little bit more time to work on it wouldn't be bad.
Okay.
But do you have somebody you can slot in next week?
Yeah. Is that still workable, Eric?
Yeah, the only thing is it's just another of those futurist things by Diamandis and his brilliant panelists. But the thing is, it's 2 hours and 9 minutes, so it's a matter of which parts not to show. There's like Elon's really important entering the chip race, and then the SP 500 repricing. Oh, that'll be interesting when human drivers will become illegal. Human driving will become illegal. That'll be quite interesting. They talk about, maybe I could chop out something about the S&P 500, or, I'll see if they have chapters on that. And I can just, skip some of the chapters.
Okay. So, David, are you
If
definitely
that's okay with both of you, I'll switch Eric to next week and Carol to 2 weeks out.
fine?
I'm not going to be able to be here the 18th. So we need a speaker for 3 weeks out if someone has any suggestions or a video that we could use. But we've got a little more time for that. But then
put something up about TerraLab. I could put one up on TerraLab, I guess.
Well,
I got to ask how the S&P 500 gets into futurists, the futurists of your investments.
It's well, because of most of the people that are in the top futurists are also enthusiastically and heavily and successfully investing in this stuff. Look at Leopold Aschenbrenner of situational awareness fame. He's just killing it. Been researched his. I can't wait till the war gets over and I can get back, into some of his stocks. They'll probably be going down some now. They're going down some now, which is great.
I gotta go, Tom. Tom, thank you so much.
Yes.
Interesting topic.
Yeah. I want to watch the hour videos that I missed. I thought I was 2 hours late, or hour. I was only an hour and 45. I slept in today. It felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
It came up several times. The history of where blood types are in the world. This people are 2/3 O negative. These people are 75% A positive. These people are, and how that seems to have changed over the eons, going back thousands of years and digging up skeletons and doing blood typing, is
and well, of course, America being
interesting.
I think I am the expert on that. Yeah. So O is at least 200,000 years old, maybe 2 million years old. And do you know that the plus and minus, when we discovered rhesus monkeys, right?
Yeah.
And, that was on Jeopardy the other night. That was in the late 1800s. They didn't know why people died, why babies died. Babies die. And yeah, they literally didn't know about the plus minus RH factor thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the stories about these people are descended from the American Indians. The American Indians are descended from so and so. Oh, wait a minute. Those people down there, their blood types aren't anything like the American Indians up there. What's going on here? And oh, wait a minute, there's a mountain range, and the people on this side of the mountain are different than the people on that side of the mountain.
Very geographic.
It's
A and AB, especially A, was invented about 10 to 15,000 years ago. That's nothing on a.
When you say invented, you mean a mutation happened.
Right, because they killed all the animals that we should be eating and the nuts and berries, and they started eating grass in Mesopotamia. And the people that survived well on grass, aka grains, developed an A-type blood, and they do very well on a high grain, I'm a type O. I do very poorly on grass and wheat and carbohydrates and all that. That's just me.
Meat.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yep. I've recommended the book before, Eat Right for Your Type. I'm going to maybe send it to Stan. He finally found out before he dies that he is O positive. I don't know how you cannot know your blood type. It's like not knowing how tall you are to me. I've always known it all of my life. But
we did that in high school biology.
Yeah. And you notice
stick yourself with a pin, put a drop on the thing, and then we did do this.
Yeah. And do you notice that
what do they teach in science these days?
They used to type you every time you gave blood. They say, well, they
still do.
They still do. And I said, why do you type me? I'm the same type I was 8 weeks ago.
Practice.
No, because blood type can change. And it is not ABO. There are gradations in between.
Oh, yeah. There are, depending on which tunnel you go down, there are 39 different basic blood types.
Wow.
Personalized genomics is going to be huge.
Yep. So my question
is, there are over
Ooh.
70 different rhesus tags that you can have. Plus, the one we talk about is rhesus D, rhesus uppercase D as being plus or minus. But there's a lowercase d, and then there are 50 or 60 more of
Yeah.
those, some of which are involved in making this other collection of 39 different blood types, and some of which are not, which is why we are probably always, at least for the foreseeable future, end up doing actual drop and drop and seeing if they're compatible because this typing is too simple. You can't be sure it's compatible.
And so
The
my
test is
question,
to put them together.
my
Testing.
question, my question on the artificial red blood cells, they grow them from these, what was that word? Polyphoto
There are,
generic, whatever that word was that he kept saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
perfect or something.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Them,
so how long does
Oh.
it take to grow red blood cells? Can they genetically test me, get some of my stem cells, and make them in real time? I don't
not
know.
yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
no,
Not
and
yet.
probably not any time in the near future.
Right, but they
Not-
could
it's-
store the information for that, possibly, right?
But we can do that now. We drop of blood and we can store it.
Well, in other words, look at my stem cells, looking for the genetic markers that would be stem cell. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't
You
know.
can get a full genomic sequence for only a few $100 now. I can't believe anybody would not do that if they could, unless they're
Right, of
destitute.
course.
What
of
would you
course.
do with it?
Yeah, we don't
You get
know.
hundreds of reports and risk
Oh,
factors and so
you-
on. And
Hundreds, literally hundreds of
the
risk
new ones
factors.
coming out all the time. I got a lifetime subscription and got it, and
Right,
keep
and
getting new reports and
and
updated
the more
reports.
data they collect across the planet, the more accurate that becomes.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
data. Big data.
People, there are at least a dozen very different attempts at making lab grown or manufactured blood. Some of them start with human blood, some of them start with what are called bloodworms, some of them start with nothing, and they try building it up chemically. All of them have, all of the ones I know of, have big fancy presentations that sound like tomorrow's going to be the day. And
They're entrepreneurs, and God bless
they
them.
are entrepreneurs. They are spending billions, each of them, because it is that financially profitable. The one who hits is gonna, they aren't gonna own the world, but
If I could write a check today to live to 101 and beat my dad by 2 years, and I had that money, I would write that check right now.
I'm guessing it'll come out of China at the rate things are trends are going. That they're just beating the crap out of it, beating the
Oh,
pants
God,
off us.
please,
in-
please
instead.
don't say the C word. I know. Of course it will.
but
They're not
it's
distracted by a war. They're making money off of our war.
Oh,
they've
very
got other
pragmatic.
things.
The Chinese are very practical in general.
No, they're not.
Well,
Oh, I
they
understand
are
that.
and they
They're
aren't.
It's
They
complicated.
haven't figured out yet that they're filling up the 3 Mile dam.
Well, they're
In
slow.
100 years,
They're
that thing
done.
is going to be full.
I know.
And if it
but they're
falls over from too much pressure on it,
Yep.
they'll be able to deal with it way then easily. They needed the power at the time badly. They
Yeah.
needed the power
They,
and
they,
for the
they
country
wanted the
overall.
power, but do they want the billion, trillion gallons of water coming down the gorge at
Trust-
150 miles an hour?
I've seen stuff on that, and they are not unaware of that. And they are working diligently, spending hundreds of millions of dollars to figure out the 50, 100-year fix.
Well, they're going to have to
we
dig
think
the
in
mud
terms
out of
of-
the bottom of the dam and take it somewhere else.
in this country, in our capitalists, we think in terms of quarterly earnings. They think in terms of 5, 10, 25. They have a 50-year plan, and you can extrapolate that to 100 years.
Yeah, if they have to sacrifice a couple million people for the overall, what
They've
they
got
perceive
plenty of
is the
people
good
to
of the
spare.
country, they'll do it.
This is sadly true.
It is.
Anyway,
It's called engineering trade-offs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe the term you were looking for is pluripotent stem cells.
What?
Pluripotent stem
Right.
cells.
He said it with a British accent, pluripotent or something.
Yeah.
It's like omnipotent versus omnipotent, and yep.
That would make an interesting topic for somebody's presentation.
It's a brand new word to me. I'm waiting for it to come up in the New York Times crossword puzzle. Yeah.
Look it up on.
Oh,
it's too long.
Yep. More than 15 letters? I can do 15.
Thank you all for coming.
yeah. You're
Thank you
welcome,
for the
thank you.
presentation, H-Tom.
Yeah, it inspired me. I got to do some more research on the benefits of getting blood from younger infusions of blood from younger people, which is parodied it very well in and it definitely works in rats. It has
Right.
anti-aging effects. It is parodied in the great comedy series Silicon Valley, if you've seen that.
Yeah. And actually, Eric, that's the reason that at some point I quit giving whole blood, because I said nobody wants my 68-year-old whole blood.
Yeah, are we making
But
younger
when I
people
was in my
older?
60s, I switched to platelets because my platelets are just as good as anyone else's platelets. And by the way, in that video, platelets are not pink or red. They're not the ones that I seen, because I would see the bag of platelets that they would produce.
I wonder if we're doing net harm by us old people donating.
It's
There's
probably
factors
not
that aren't measured that are harming the young people who might get our blood.
right. Is the percentage of your new versus old blood cells? How would you know? You'd have to.
I think it goes both ways. The young blood benefits old organisms, and I think vice versa. I'm going to research the latest on that. Thanks.
Yeah,
Well, the more it would seem, the more frequent.
You should get a cocktail of old and old meaning
Well, that's what you're
that have
that's what
survived.
you're going to get.
Old. Yeah,
that's what you're going to get. If you have someone who donates blood once a year, they're going to have a certain age profile in their blood. If I am donating 8 times a year, I'm going to have a different age profile.
Your RBCs are going to be younger. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
If this is going to be a significant difference, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a big difference. It might be measurable.
If you need blood and you'll die without it, that's
it doesn't matter.
It does not matter. By the way, I knew a little bit about this iron stuff, and it kind of seems I've got to go to Kaiser and check my iron, and there was 2 of them. So there was your iron levels, and then there was the what was the other word?
Oh God!
The amino acids. No. It was the things that are receptive have a function in how the iron. An iron is a two-edged sword. You need it. That's the only way we get oxygen into our brains and muscles.
Yeah.
Is through the catalyst effect of
iron.
Yep.
Red blood cells need iron to carry oxygen around.
But too much of a good thing is
almost always bad.
Yeah. And that's the other problem with Himalayan sea salt and all the salt that we eat. And I don't eat a lot of salt at all. Very little. Always have. But yeah, most people today are eating designer salt, right?
Yeah.
Himalayan sea salt and
it's all same thing, same
salt
chemicals.
Salt from meteorites and God knows what. But it is not iodized. And iodine or iodine
is
one of those
important.
It's very, very important. Yeah.
Yes.
But I hope I don't know if my multivitamins have well, I went out and bought some table salt the other day, and I will use it occasionally because it is iodized. But most kosher salt, sea salt, and my brother Gary, who Stan knows, you guys don't, always laughed at sea salt. He goes, Dean, you moron, all salt is sea salt. It doesn't matter whether you chipped it off the top of Mount Everest. It is sea salt. And I said, you're correct.
It all has sodium chloride, and that's it may have other bad things, but
it's the sodium chloride that makes it salt. The other minerals that come along with it
may make it even worse.
Well, no,
I don't know.
Yes and no. I have heard that there are other trace minerals in some of this pink salt, et cetera, that are these little minuscule minerals that we always got when we ate a natural diet before we got onto uber. I'm not even going to say hyper processed. It's uber processed food is what most people eat today.
We have a 2-pound jar of Himalayan salt, and right next to it there's a 2-pound jar of Morton's iodized salt, and right next to that there's a jar of big crystal salt.
Yep.
And
Mark,
depending on what I'm cooking, I'll put this or that. Martha always puts the pink salt on her salads. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. When I'm baking, I use the iodized Morton's. When I'm doing other things, I'll use the big chunky salts for one or another.
Yep.
And
variety is the seasoning of life.
There you go.
Did you notice?
Do things for purpose. Thank you for your help, San.
Did you notice the term heme coming up a couple of times during that discussion?
Yep.
That's from the Greek or Latin, I think.
And if you recall, when Jason gave a presentation on why certain kinds of hamburgers, artificial hamburgers, taste good, like the Impossible Burger from Burger King.
Oh.
It's because they had put heme into it, which gave it that taste of smoked hamburger.
Heme. Yeah, an anecdotal. My brother and I did a test of, well, actually, I used to really like the old garden burgers. What were they called? They were good. But anyway, we did an Impossible Whopper versus a Whopper. And I ordered the same Whoppers, and we cut them in half, and then we each shuffled our own halves and ate them, and we both liked the taste of the Impossible Burger better than the ground beef burger. And I think many people if they did a blind taste test, just like 90% of people like Pepsi more than Coke. Actually, they like RC Cola, blows them both away, or used to. But in their mind, no, I'm a Coca-Cola drinker. That's it. I don't drink Pepsi. I don't drink. But yeah, I mean, they have done blind tests on people, and they actually liked the fake burgers. Now, whether they're healthier, in quotes, that's an open question.
One thing that Joe and I decided is that we prefer a smaller burger, like a junior cheeseburger or something like that. And all we could do with the Impossible Burger from Burger King is we would bring along a platter and a knife, and we'd cut it in half.
Yeah.
If they could make it into, they would sell more if they had two smaller burgers.
Well, their clientele are not 77, they're 27.
You could get White Castle.
I was 27, I could wolf down two of those bad boys.
You could go to White Castle. They're smaller. And one guy just he was just always trying to go against the grain. He would bring that to our office parties at the county. He'd bring a big thing full of White Castle burgers.
And by the way, anecdotal, we were talking about, oh, you got to go on a Sunday and give blood, and it only cost me this much in gas. So, I worked for the post office for years, and and we were givers, right? I mean, believe it or not, the post office gives a lot of money to charity, and does a lot of good things. And one of them was, the San Diego Blood Bank truck is coming tomorrow. Do you want to sign up? This when I was working the day shift. I go, yeah. And you sign up for an afternoon appointment, right? And so you go give your blood on the clock, and then they would give you the afternoon off free, as in go home, beat the rush hour traffic. So it was a win-win for me.
Yeah. Barry did that for a while.